in this video, we want to turn this CSV file, as you can see, describes the stock of our car business, into this very interactive dashboard. One of the reasons why we want to do that is because this is easily shareable. So I could copy this link up here, I could share it with you watching right now, I could share it with my boss, I could put it on my CV, and anybody that comes to the link can basically interact with the dashboard. So for example, if you remove Pontiac, Acura, you also see the dashboard responding to our selection. So we can see the price of the car, the price per color, price per manufacturer, seat make year, distribution. And this is very easy and it's very interactive to build and gives us a better overview of our data set compared to just sharing this CSV file. And how did I do that? So in this video, I'm going to be walking us through the process of how to build a very simple interactive dashboard that you can use either in your workplace or to show your skill as a data scientist. So follow me. First thing we want to do, we are going to create a new file. So let us close this. I'm going to open a new Python file. We're going to call the Python file app.py. Once we have app.py, I'm going to open this again. Once we have app.py, we want to first of all import libraries. Now, once we install our library, once we import our libraries, and I'm using an already pre-installed environment where I already have these libraries, but if you are creating a new environment or you're using your base environment, you can basically just pip install pandas, pip install numpy, Streamlit, and plotly, and you are good to go. The first thing we want to do then is to import our data set. We have our data set now imported. I want to then first of all, I want to cache this data. It's easy for me, it makes my app run faster with Streamlit. So I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna modularize this and put this in a function so that I can be able to cache it. The next thing we want to do now is to if you come back to what we were trying to do, we want to then let us start from also the sidebar. So everything we have here, the filters and everything. The first thing we can do is maybe to try to create our sidebar and also then be able to see that with our data frame. So I want to basically call this load our data frame so that we can also track our progress. Nice. So now we have a little problem. Let us see, get data, invalid syntax. Okay, I think I know why that is there. And we can basically now track our progress. So this is our data. This is our data, new caching commands, st.cache data. Okay, I think we want to call this cache data. So that we have that, so we can rerun, and this is our data. We've been able to put our data in there. The first thing we then want to do now is to be able to put in our sidebar. Let us now start with the sidebar, so we can leave this here just to track our progress. what we want to do with our sidebar is to be able to so as you saw, I want to filter on manufacturer, I want to filter on automation, and I want to filter on the use category. So we're going to do that with our sidebar, and in the sidebar we're going to use streamlit.sidebar.header, and in the header what we want to do is to just let's write a note here. Let's filter here. So now, as you can see, I have added the first sidebar note. I first of all added the note to say please filter here, and then I added my sidebar with this multi-select function in Streamlit, and I want to select the unique manufacturers in the data frame unique. So if we go back to our app now and we rerun this, now you see our sidebars automatically appeared, and we can basically select. One thing you see, however, is when I select any of this, it doesn't change anything in my data frame. It's because we've just created the sidebar, but we have not connected the data frame to the sidebar, which we'll do. But before we do that, let us then create a sidebar for automation, and also create the sidebar for our use category. So now we do that. Before I move on, I also want to rename the foreign local use column, which I'm going to just put it in here. What we want to do is we call it foreign underscore local underscore use, so that we avoid spaces, and it's then very easy for us to reference. Now you see our buttons are there. Select automation is there, our manual is there, and we can select each of these radios, which is what we're using. And you can see nothing changes in our dashboard, but it's okay, we can deal with that. The next thing for us to now do that we want to do is to build the main page. So as you can see already from the graphics that I did, we had a title, we had some KPIs that we measured, we also had some bar graphs, a pie chart somewhere, and of course when you play around building this yourself, you can also change your automations, you can also change the KPIs as you wish, and also change the colors and everything as you play around. But I hope this gives everybody a sort of guide. So now let us build the main page, give it a title, and give it also add the emojis and the likes. So let us move on with that. So let us go to the main page. The main page. Now for the main page, we want to plug our selections on the sidebar to the data frame, and what we do with that is simple. So what we do is to call our new data frame df select. Now you see I've been able to plug my data frame, my selections now to the data frame. So if I select Kia, as you can, if I remove Kia, then okay, so for example, let us remove Toyota, and then you see now that the dashboard actually, the data frame actually changed. So we've been able to connect our selections on the sidebar now to the main data frame. Now we need to then change the data frame to any graphic or any KPI that we want to select. Yeah, so let's do that. But first, before we do that, we want to sort of put a warning. So when the user select in our app, select something and it's not available, we want to throw a warning and say, hey, stop, this is not available. So let us do that first of all. So now we then want to add a title and basically build our KPIs. So first, you see now I've been able to add a title, and I've also been able to add this mechanical arm. You can simply do that by adding this mechanical arm emoji name, or you can even change it to like something called a bar chart. There are different emojis, and I'm going to put the link to how you can get the names of the emojis that you can plug into your own dashboard also in the description. So make sure you check it out. So let us move on. Next, we want to then build our KPIs. We want to calculate what is the average price. We want to calculate the car count. We want to also select the earliest make here for the particular selection that the users selected on the right, and which is what you see here: average price, car count, and also the earliest make here. So let us first of all calculate those KPIs. Yeah. One thing to note at this point is that I have I'm dividing my price by 1,000 because the car prices are in the Naira, which is the currencies being spent in Nigeria, where the data is from. But of course it could be in, and I'm trying to change that to sort of dollars and make the count a little bit lower, just to give everybody context as to why I'm dividing it by 1,000, and I'm rounding it off also with the integer function. So now we have been able to calculate our KPIs. What we want to do is then to create columns. As you can see here, we created columns to sort of put each of them in the columns. So let us try that. Good. So now we have our three columns. It doesn't look the way we want it to look, but again, we will get there. Also, just to put this out there, in case you're running this alongside with me and you probably don't have this background colors and this color yet, and it's basically a white, don't worry. I'm going to show you at the end how you're going to put these default colors into your system. And I think right now it's still just using a predefined color scheme that I already defined. So don't worry, I'm going to show you all that. Just follow me along. So next we want to then add a divider. Next we want to add a divider, and then we want to also calculate the next histogram and the bar chart, which is what you see here. Put in the bar chart and the histogram, and I'm just going to do that quickly. So let us first of all add a divider. Now it's coming along, and first we want to calculate a group by, and we're just going to use this piece of code here. So what we did, we just calculated our group by, and in the group by, we want to group by the selection, of course, by the color of the df select, which is all of the things we selected, and also group by the color, and then calculate what is the sum of the price. We have plotted our bar chart, and then we're just going to put that there. Also, we want to then also plot the second histogram. Next, we are then going to put this in 2 columns as well, just like we did earlier. So let us do that. So let us try that on the app now. Nice. So as you can see, we now have our price per color, our price per manufacturer as well. All of these codes I'm going to put in my GitHub, so make sure you check it out also on my GitHub. The last part of the design of the dashboard is we want to add this KPIs numbers that we have here, which is the minimum price of cars selected, the maximum price of cars selected, and the median price of stock selected as well, the seat make distribution and the make here distribution. When you go through your data, you want to build something similar, you're free to do anything, any kind of KPI that you also want to build. But I hope that this sort of gives you a guide or helps you to follow through how it is done with Streamlit. So with this, we've been able to put everything together. We can check out that looks on our app. So as you can see, everything is now basically there. Our minimum price of car selected, the maximum and the median price of car selected. So let us move to the middle. In the middle, we want to design the seat make distribution, and then we can just easily do that as well. In our seat make distribution, we want to just make a plotly chart, and in that plotly chart, we want to plot the distribution of the seat mix. On the right plot as well, we want to then do the make here distribution. So I'm just going to add here. and then that is also added. We can go back to our app and see if we've done things right. Perfect. So everything basically now appears but a little bit clustered, and that will then bring us to the styling. So we want to add some style to our Streamlit app so that everything basically is spread out and looks nice and beautiful. And how we can easily do that is just to add this code into our script, and then it makes everything look a lot more nicer. And we can rerun our app and see the way it looks now. Okay, I think it's still not there. Okay, so we need to add this somewhere here. We want to set the page configuration and then make it nice. Set page. And we can easily do that. We can easily do that by just adding this. So what I have done here is to add the page title, the icon, which is still my icon. Like I said earlier, if you remember, I was saying that you can basically use this mechanical arm icon, or you can also change this to, I think there is one also called the bar chart, if I remember clearly, and you see how that also changes our dashboard. And now you also see right now you see right here our app is called basically app. We've given the title, we've given it an icon, which is all going to change, and we're now changing also the layout to make it wide. And so that's why you're going to see by the time we run it now that everything also becomes bigger. So you see everything now becomes wider, and now you see our bars been changed now to cast stock dashboard according to the name we gave it. And you see also the icon here is a bar chart. So of course there are different emojis, and you can basically also just check it out in this web link, I think. So this is sort of the emoji sheet, and then if you check that out, you can use anyone you feel like. I'm using the mechanical arm like I showed earlier, and I think you can also use the bar chart. You can choose to use any animal that you feel like, or fruits or whatever. So it just depends on you. So now our dashboard looks exactly like the earlier one that I built, and this is basically how you build it. But one thing I want to add is that this still runs locally on our machine. If we want to have, I can't share this link with anyone basically because they cannot have it. It's running locally on my machine. If we want to have this running on our computer, we have to do a couple of things. So first, we are using Streamlit. We need to first of all create a new file called the requirements file. And in our requirements file, what you want to put here is basically all of the libraries that you've used, so that anyone using this, when you publish this, for example, to Streamlit can also know the exact library version that you're using for pandas, for numpy, and for Streamlit. Also, so we can do that easily, and I can just copy from the previous one that I did, and these are the versions that I'm using. I'm using Streamlit, pandas, plotly, and numpy. And this is very adding the version numbers is very important, so that anyone who wants to use it later, or Streamlit in the case where we are going to deploy it right now, can know the exact version that you used. The other thing that we want to add into our folder is the readme file. Okay, so next we want to create our readme file, because this is also important. I'm going to generate my readme file by basically just uploading my file app.py to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, please generate for me a readme file. If you want to know how to use ChatGPT properly to make your work faster as a data analyst or as a data scientist, I have a previous video where I highlighted ways which you can use this tool to really make your work faster and you can act smarter. I'm going to put the link up here and you should check it out. So I already did that. I am just going to copy my previous readme file that I generated into my computer right now, as you can see. So I already have this readme file, which you see as readme copy now, and you see in the markdown, this was all generated by by ChatGPT for me, and this is just an image that I added much later myself, and I'm just going to use that because it's just way faster instead of me having to type all of the readme file one after the other. I think it's just a good idea to do this. So, and also you can also, if I put in the image now, I think this should then work. Okay, it doesn't work, but then that's the image there. Now the next thing we want to do to publish this is to go to our Streamlit. So we want to run this. Oh, before I go there, I said I was going to show you how you're going to add some how you're going to add pictures to your dashboard so that it looks like this, because if you're doing this for the first time, most likely you can't do that yet. So now what you have to do is to go to your folder system. In my case, I am going to go to my folder. And in my folder, in your folder, you're going to go to your folder. This is my folder, and I'm going to create a new file called let's create a new folder first called .streamlit. Yes, use dot. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you most likely have a problem creating a .streamlit folder, and what you should do in that case is to just, if you're using a Mac, use Command Shift dot, and then you are able to do it. You're able to see all your dot folder files, and you can then create a .streamlit folder. If you do that, once you open that, you can create a new file, and in that new file, so we want to create a new file. You can probably then go there from here. 6 9 minutes ago. Okay, this one. In that new file, you want to, in that folder, we want to create a new file called config.toml. So we're going to copy this and we can put this here. Now, so what you can do is basically just create a folder like this. I'm going to bring this here. Now this is my config.toml folder. Basically, I have declared my primary color, background color, secondary background color, text color, and font color. So you can copy this, put this into your .streamlit folder, and then everything runs as it should run. So you have the pictures, you have the color. Once you put that, you can just go back to your app and then rerun it, and then everything's fine. So we want to then deploy this now. We can basically, what you need to do is just, this is free, this is easy. Go to your go to streamlit.io. When you get there, you click create app and then connect this to your GitHub. So what you have to do is then put this on your folder, publish it to your GitHub, and then you can just connect your GitHub to yes, I have an app to your GitHub, and then you can just do that, and then everything runs. And then you can define your main part, which is in this case going to be your app.py, and then you also have your master, and then optional, it generates you a URL, and then once you click deploy, voila, you have exactly what we have here. I think this is a very good thing to do because it gives you, especially if you're trying to get a job, it gives you, and it shows that you know, if I see this, it shows that you know how to use Python and you have visualization skills, and then it's a better way to show your job instead of just showing your skills instead of just writing pandas numpy on your CV. Of course, with more experience means you can do more, but how do you build experience without having a job? In this video up here, I show you 3 ways by which you can build experience without having a job, and then you can improve your chances of getting a job. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.